Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I am Tamiru Nimsat. Let's have a look at the headlines. Unfair treatment for Sri Lanka by the UN Human Rights Council. President reiterates. Government has allocated over 230 billion rupees for education. Subject Minister reveals. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the UN Human Rights Council seems to be taking two different approaches when it comes to situations of internal conflicts in Sri Lanka and Israel. The President said this speaking at the opening of the Välimäe Court Complex recently.
So what you are being asked here in Gaza is to address the concerns of the Muslim population. If Sri Lankan government must address it, why is there another rule? To take measures to address the marginalization and discrimination against persons from the Muslim community. Well, the Arab Palestinians are Muslims and they have all been marginalized in their own place. So I asked them, why is it that the US applies this to us but not in Gaza? They in fact tell us that there is no need for a ceasefire, only what is called a humanitarian pause. Now this is the issue we are faced with. Now my problem is, okay, let's say the UN is handling the Gaza issue. When we go next year to the UN Human Rights Council, we will be judged by this. There is one law for us, one standard for the others. So I am thinking now of that rule which all of you apply in courts, that you must come to courts with clean hands. That is in the domestic jurisdictions. Sometimes in international tribunals, they have also said you must come to courts in clean hands. So why shouldn't it then apply here also? Next September, come with clean hands and we will answer it. If you haven't got clean hands, why should we answer it? That's the question I have. So I thought I'll ask the Minister of Justice and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, together with our Attorney General and our permanent representative in UN, to consult international legal opinion on this application that you must come to courts in clean hands. Why shouldn't it apply to the Human Rights Council?
Chairman of the Welfare Benefits Board, Jayantha Wijeyaratne, revealed that the Union of Sri Lanka Divisional Secretaries has agreed to support the continued implementation of Aswasuma Welfare Benefits Program. According to Jayantha Wijeyaratne, the agreement was reached during a meeting that took place at the Presidential Secretariat on Tuesday. The meeting was attended by State Minister Shehan Semasinghe, Chief of Presidential Staff Sagal Ratnayaka, and Secretary Saman Ekanayaka, and officials from the Ministry of Public Administration. A key component of the decision includes the appointment of dedicated officers at the village level to ensure the efficient and formal execution of the Aswasuma Welfare Program. Wijeyaratne also addressed the existing technical challenges facing the Aswasuma Welfare Program, assuring that prompt solutions will be implemented to facilitate its continued progress. The Aswasuma Welfare Benefit Program, which is being carried out under the provisions of the Welfare Benefits Act and subsequent amendments, was approved by the Cabinet last year. The program encompasses welfare benefit payments across 4 social categories: transitional, vulnerable, poor and extremely poor. Moreover, it extends financial support and allowances to individuals with disabilities, the elderly and kidney patients. Minister of Higher Education Susil Premajaya announced that it has been planned to allocate over 230 billion rupees to the Ministry of Education's budget for the year 2024. The minister said that this amount specifically pertains to education-related capital and recurring expenses in the 9 provinces. The minister said this addressing a press conference held at the Presidential Media Centre recently. The minister said the Cabinet has already approved the policy framework for education reforms, which we will present in Parliament after receiving sectoral parliamentary approval. Minister Premajaya said that this initiative aims to establish a stable education policy that endures across different governments and ministers. The minister said that it will drive reforms in 4 key areas, focusing on transitioning from an exam-centric system to a more diversified and inclusive classroom assessment. The minister stated that the upcoming academic year will commence on the 19th of February 2024 marking the initiation of the first school term. The minister also said that the results of the ordinary level examinations will be released in the third week of this month. The minister further said that the Treasury approved the recruitment of 5,450 personnel for science, mathematics, English, foreign languages and technology subjects. The minister went on to underscore the government's commitment to providing professional training in skills and technology to students post-general and advanced level examinations. Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Minister of Industries and Health Ramesh Patirana said that the government is working towards abolishing policy directions that hinder the capacity of the industrialists in the country. Minister Ramesh Patirana said this while speaking at the inauguration of the 6th Research Symposium of the Industrial Technology Institute in Colombo recently.
We've been going through a bit of an economic struggle last year, one of the worst ones since we gained independence from Britishers in 1948. Thankfully, we are gradually coming out from that situation. I must thank, on behalf of the Minister of Industry, Sri Lankan industrialists did their best to ensure that they produce little more, to ensure that they fill the lacuna created by the import restrictions, and also they managed to export little more. At that time, what we realized was we need to ensure that we need to further strengthen the industrial sector of the country, for which the Minister of Industry is fully committed to ensure at that time to partly protect by a ring fencing mechanism, and also in the long run to ensure that our products become competitive in the local market as well as in the global market. In that regard, the policy direction that we try to develop, liaising with the finance ministry, is something important for us. We have realized certain issues, like when the finished product is imported to Sri Lanka free of duty, certain times Sri Lankan industries have to pay duty for their raw material, which is quite unfair. So such policy directions need to be addressed, and we are in constant dialogue with the policymakers of the country, including especially with the Minister of Finance, to ensure that we create a level playing field of the country.
Cabinet co-spokesperson and the Minister of Transport and Mass Media, Bandula Gunawardena, said that India's Taj Group has proposed converting the Nuwara colonial era post office into a hotel. The Cabinet co-spokesperson said this speaking to journalists at the post-Cabinet meeting media briefing on Tuesday. Minister Gunawardena said that the proposal came to the Presidential Secretariat and the specifics will be made available by the Secretariat once the project gets off the ground. Minister Gunawardena also highlighted that attractions like Sita Eliya, a nearby site steeped in Ramayana mythology, would be a great source of attraction to Indian tourists. Minister Gunawardena voiced support for moving the post office if it might encourage great economic activity in the area. He also said that if there is potential to increase foreign reserves, the conversion of underutilized state assets into investment opportunities should be supported. The minister further stated that it would not only increase FDIs but also develop economic activity, job creation and people's livelihoods. The Cabinet co-spokesman said that no development agency or country is willing to extend financial aid for development work without the restructure of the country's foreign debt. Gunawardena said the Urban Development Authority is also exploring ways to convert underutilized properties into investment opportunities. The report by a committee headed by Justice K.T. Chitrasiri to introduce a new constitution to Sri Lanka cricket through a parliamentary act was handed over to Minister Ali Sabri yesterday. The Presidential Media Division said that the report was handed over to the Minister by President's Secretary Saman Ekanayake under the instructions of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The President's Media Division said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe's stance is that the current crisis in Sri Lanka's most popular sport, cricket, is intricate and profound. The PMD said that the President maintains that merely appointing an interim committee will not suffice to address the issue adequately. According to them, the new draft constitution suggests a new method for appointing members to the Sri Lanka Cricket Board and changes in composition, administration and management. According to the proposed constitution, The Sri Lanka Cricket Board will be governed by a board of directors comprised of 18 members, each appointed for a 4-year term. These directors will be entrusted with the authority to make policy decisions, and the power to execute these decisions will be vested in a Director General appointed by the Board of Directors. Out of these 18 directors, 8 will be appointed directors, and the responsibility for recommending them will rest with an expert committee consisting of 6 members. Additionally, a proposal has been made to establish 12 committees dedicated to various aspects of cricket, each with a formal mandate. Stay tuned for stock update. Trading at Trump Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today.
The all-share price index dropped 48 points 57 to close at 10,889 points 48, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 16 points 27 to close at 3,088 points 93. The turnover was 2.3 billion rupees and over 36 million shares were traded.
Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.